That's November India Mike Papa .org. .boys.on.nymph.org. Wait, hold on for a second. Well,
How you doing, Chris?
could be better, could be worse.
Yeah. How's your love quest going?
How's my where?
How's your love quest going? I heard you were looking for a date again.
Oh, who told you that?
Oh, I read it on your Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, of course I did. You know I can't like go 10 minutes without spying on you. You know?
Wasn't that special?
So how's your business?
Still here?
Have you filed for bankruptcy yet?
Still here?
I said, have you filed for bankruptcy yet, like you said you were going to?
Why don't you go take a look?
Oh, well, I don't want to be spying on you like that. Why would I want to spy on you?
Go take a look.
What the fuck are you doing? You sound like you're brushing your teeth.
Too bad you don't have a life. I mean, I really feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I know. It's just so hard. It's so hard. So what are you doing? I can hear you jerking off in the background. Ew, you got no manners, dude. It's no wonder you're divorced.
Well, you've never been married. How would you know why a person gets divorced?
I'm married. What are you talking about?
You are married?
Yeah, of course I'm married. What are you kidding me?
What do you mean, of course you're married? You're a loser. Why would you be married?
Because I'm a rich loser. Yeah.
You're a rich loser?
Oh yeah. Why don't you come and sue me and have all my money?
Oh, when I find you, I will.
Oh, it'll be a nice fight. You know what? I can't wait till one day you show up on my doorstep and I give you a good smack in the face. Just for good measure. Of course.
What do you mean? You'll try to give me a smack in the face?
In the face? You can
at which point you'll find yourself on your front lawn?
Yeah, of course. I think you're gonna kick the shit out of me one day, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. Well, me too.
Cool. So how far are you away from finding me?
So you can sue me after I get done suing you for beating the hell out of you.
Oh, see, I would never sue somebody. See, I would consider that to be a pussy thing to do.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Then you're a pussy.
Why is that? I'm not going to sue you. You're the one trying to sue me.
That's not a pussy thing to do. That's the right thing to do.
No. What are you talking about? If you sue somebody, then you just...
You don't think correctly, do you?
No, I said if you sue somebody, then you become part of the system which you detest so much. So you can't sue me without losing your integrity.
Dude, you don't know what the system is.
Well, I know probably more than you do.
No, you don't.
Oh, really? I'm not the one with a limited liability company who's threatening bankruptcy. You don't even know how your own business works, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm glad you know that.
Aww. Poor guy.
But you don't know anything about our system.
Oh, really? Why is that? You know, I'm actually a lot closer than you think I am.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Amsterdam, New York.
You're not in Amsterdam, New York.
Where did you think I was? You think I'm in North Korea or something, don't you? The Asian Pacific Rim. Right?
Well, no, I don't think that.
Oh, shit. Well, seriously, man. I mean, I've been waiting for you to show up here for the last 3 years. I mean, what's the hold-up?
Hold up? There is no hold up.
So where are you?
On my time.
Excuse me?
When you least expect it.
Oh, But you see, the problem is I'm just going to get bored and I'm going to go underground again, and you're never going to be able to find me. So I mean, I've given you a window of opportunity.
Sure, I'll be able to find you.
Well, shit, you haven't done so far.
Eventually. You know, what goes around comes around.
Oh, come on. That's a fucking cliche. Can you come up with a new line, man? Cliche.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Hold on, my headset's falling off. Give me a second.
So what are you going to do? How many kids you got? Because what are you going to do when your wife divorces you and you got to pay child support?
I didn't hear half of that. What did you say? I was adjusting the microphone. I didn't hear you. Would you mind repeating it?
Sure.
I'm not going to do like a witty comeback. I wasn't stalling so I could think of something to say. I genuinely didn't hear what you said.
I'm sure you did.
You said something about divorce. What am I going to do when I'm divorced? Right?
Oh, there you go. You're on the right track.
Yeah, you said something else though.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, what else? What did anybody else hear?
Who?
Ask them. What else did they hear?
Do you think I would be in Venturello and talking like this to you when they could record me and put me on the YouTube? And my anonymity would be blown? Do you think I'm that stupid?
Oh, you mean you don't have anybody listening to you? None of the other guys in Vent, the toy chest are there?
No, of course not. I mean, I'm in there, but you know, I'm not playing this to them. Why would I do that? That would be really dumb. Really stupid thing to do.
And the reason for that is...
Well, because if I talk to you and my actual voice gets recorded, then one day when I enter politics, this could all come back and embarrass the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? This is just between me and you.
If you're concerned about being embarrassed for prank calling, why in God's name do you do it?
Because it kills time. Why else?
It kills time. You said you were married.
I am married. What do you think I do? Is that what you did with your wife? You just hung off your wife all day, every day? No wonder she fucking left you. Seriously, dude.
Oh, really? So, what are you on? What are you and your wife on, like, welfare or something?
Yeah, of course. That's
yeah, like I really believe you're rich.
Oh, well, how else could I be doing this? How else could I be?
I would a wealthy. Wait a minute. Unless you married you took a woman out of poverty, why would any woman that would be worth her salt marry somebody that finds harassing other people for no apparent reason fun? That's sadistic. Why unless your wife's a masochist?
Of course. Isn't that obvious?
Oh, so your wife's a masochist?
Yeah, man. Sadomasochism. That's what all us rich English aristocracy get up to in our spare time. Didn't you know?
Get out of here.
What, are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me you've seen all this stuff about these evil cults of people, all these evil American cults, and you don't think that the British aristocracy are tied into that in any way?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? What, are you kidding me?
You're telling me you're British aristocracy?
Yeah. I didn't think you were going to buy that one, to be honest.
It's an illusion, dude.
Well, I don't know. The point is, Chris, it could be anything.
Okay, let me ask you this.
How would you know?
Your aristocracy?
No.
Living in Amsterdam?
No. My point, Chris, was people could be anybody. How would you know? You're no closer to finding anybody than you ever have been.
Oh, that's the stupidity of youth.
I know, it's a shame.
Hypocrisy living in damn New York.
how would you know?
Man,
Chris,
you
how would
are
you
out of your mind. But thanks for the laugh.
Oh. Is that your way of dealing with things? Is that your way of dealing with things?
Aristocracy does not live in Amsterdam, New York.
Is that your way you're dealing with things, Chris? You just avoid?
You know? Unbelievable. Do you know where the highest per capita income is, and where you, if you were aristocracy, you'd probably live?
6 pence a day or something like that?
No, it's in Connecticut.
Oh.
Mr. Aristocracy doesn't know this.
Oh. So, like I said, the point.
So
I mean, it was good. It was good how you jumped on that. That was quite amusing. But the point was, Chris, that I was making.
Nothing
Chris.
to do tonight?
Chris.
It's several days before Christmas, and you got nothing to do?
Chris, the point I was making was that we could be anybody and you wouldn't know. Do you understand?
Say what?
We could be anybody and you don't know. Do you get that? You're 54
I know
years
that.
old.
You don't
So,
live in
what are you
freaking
doing?
Amsterdam.
I never said I did. I said that was a joke and you fucking ran with it like a nut. I mean, you should hear yourself back sometimes. Seriously, man.
When did you say it was a joke? I didn't hear you say it was a joke.
That's because you have a problem with talking and you don't listen. That's half of your problems come from
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Well, anyway, married, you got kids, and you've got nothing to do tonight except prank call. You're bored.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Why is that amazing?
That's amazing that you'd be bored. You're married, you got kids, there's a Friday night, and you got nothing to do and you're bored.
Is it Friday? I thought it was Thursday. Are you sure it's Friday, Chris?
Oh, that's right, too. So what are you doing up if you're married, what are you doing up this early in the morning if your wife's in bed, unless she's not in bed?
Well, who would know?
Well, is she out
Oh,
with the
shit,
girls?
did I just give away the time zone?
Or is she out with the boys?
She's
She out with the girls or out with the boys?
She's probably out with the girls, you know how it goes. I'm sure your wife did the same.
Yeah, so you don't relate well enough to be invited out with them. It's amazing.
What do you mean? You see, I genuinely don't get where you come from with that. Because it's like you think that, you know, you said to another guy that your wife should be your best friend and you should be with her 24/7. People need their privacy, Chris. Did you not get that during your years of marriage?
I get it.
Really?
So, yeah.
Did you ever go to couples counseling? Oh my god, I hate hearing myself back like that. I said, did you ever go to couples counseling by any chance?
Interesting. Now, where did you hear me say that couples are supposed to be together 24/7, 365? Nobody could be with each other 24/7, 365 because people got to work. People got responsibilities and tasks and chores.
Exactly. So what was your point?
So how does that mitigate you skip it? You got no good answer anyway.
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity. What's the problem? You couldn't think of anything to say? Your fucking brain just wandered. Your brain shut the fuck up. Your brain just shut down. That betrays you for the fucking fool that you are. In my opinion. What are you doing with your life, Chris? What are you doing with your life right now?
I'm building the future for my children
You
and my grandchildren.
stuttering motherfucker. You aren't building any kind of future. For the last 4 years, people have just, across the world, thousands of people are just taking the piss out of you, dude. I'm really surprised.
1,000 people are just taking a what?
I said that thousands of people are taking the piss out of you. Is that an American expression?
I mean,
Taking the piss
is that
out of you?
what English call it?
That's it.
Piss on me?
No, I said taking the piss out of you.
So guess what? You've cost me
I can't even think of an expression. I thought that was American.
$150,000 minimum, and if you are aristocracy, I will find you, and you will pay me back.
I'm not going to pay you anything back. I'll pay you back. You say what? I will send you $100,000 US if you turn your life around and stop acting like a fool.
Okay, I will do that.
How are you gonna do that? You wouldn't even know where to start.
Why don't you tell me, and I'll take your instructions.
You see, you don't know where to start, do you? You've got no fucking idea how to turn your life
most
around.
certainly do.
No, you don't, Chris. No, you don't. You need therapy or something. You need professional help. I mean, I've tried my best with you.
Don't prank call people. I treat people with dignity and respect.
No, you don't.
I don't.
You don't treat people with any kind of dignity. You're self-obsessed. Painfully obvious to anybody.
Really, because I lecture you guys about what you're doing is wrong. Because I talk to you of God, and those that are American, I talk to of the Constitution and the love of country and the love of their fellow citizen.
You're really going to bring up
that's me being
God?
self-absorbed.
You're really going to bring up God? Do you even want me to go there? I could fucking disprove your whole mythology in like 5 seconds.
Oh, really? How could you do that?
Because it's all blatantly bullshit. There's no evidence for fucking Moses in the first place.
Really? Is there evidence of evolution?
It's
Do you know
predicated.
that evolution
Your
is a
entire
theory?
fucking theology is predicated upon absolute bullshit, Chris. Do some
Really?
fucking research. Read fucking history like you keep telling people to do.
I do. I have.
No, you don't, dude. You really don't.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this.
What?
Do you believe that the book of Genesis has got any truth in it?
No. As far as I'm concerned, it's all predicated on fucking bullshit. I mean, you could say some of it's taken from the Egyptians, and there's some merit in there. The Book of the Dead, fine.
So you'd rather
But there's a lot of
bullshit books written in modern era about the Egyptians than you'd actually like to believe in real history.
No, I'm talking. Have you ever heard of the Book of the Dead from the Temple of Karnak, the Proverbs of Karnak?
Really, and who wrote that?
Back in the Egyptians, ancient Egypt.
Who wrote it?
It's been fucking transcribed, well, much like the Bible
Who
has.
wrote it?
Okay, do you know who wrote it? It wasn't
I'm asking you.
It wasn't
Who wrote?
It wasn't written. It was put together from the Karnak, the Temple of Karnak, the writings on the wall, so to speak. And it's transcribed.
Oh,
it's
so they don't even know whether it was a play, somebody made it up, it was a story, it was a game room with a big story on the wall.
Yeah, because they used to build game rooms inside the pyramids, didn't they, Chris? With a little hockey table in there with little Mesopotamian hockey players made in clay.
Let's call it an entertainment room, because they believe that the afterlife. As a matter of fact, you're probably aware that they took all their possessions with them. They put them in separate chambers depending on the possessions. They didn't all just go into one room. That's why there was many rooms in a pyramid. But aside from that, you'd rather believe that made-up mythology than you would real history.
If you had listened to what I said there was more merit in that.
More merit?
And I'm not saying you go ahead and just take everything at face value. You never do that. I said there was perhaps more merit in some of the Egyptian writings than there were in these Judeo-Christian bullshit, which is just fucking parasites. It's a fucking manual on how to be a parasite. If you go by the tenets of Christianity and you actually look at the social impact of that, you're just going to be a fucking slave, Chris.
The social impact of, no, it wasn't Christianity, dude. It was men on power trips.
And those were the fucking same. Those were the same people. Those were the same fucking Chris.
Because idiots are using those truths to their own end.
Yes, you're absolutely fucking 100% right. Okay, I agree with that. But those idiots were exactly the same people who enforced the entire thing into people. I mean, look at the Inquisition for one example. Those were the same people in power.
Inquisition was fascism. Call it what you want. It was
and
fascism.
it was run by the church.
It was, first off, the church isn't really the church.
Catholicism
is it was not instituted. The church, Catholicism, which is Latin for universal, not Christianity, is no precept. Let's put it this way. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, sure.
Catholicism, which is Latin for universalism, is not the standard for Christianity. See, if one would look at the Catholic...
No, excuse me.
Not Christian.
Chris.
Catholicism is not Christianity.
Chris, I'm not gonna let you finish. What you just said is completely wrong. The only true Christianity, if you go back to either St. Peter or Paul, the only true version of Christianity is Catholicism. Because everything...
wrong.
No, because if you read what the Bible says, and if you take that as a literal truth, then Catholicism is the only standard for Christianity. It is the most ancient Christianity.
Oh, really?
Everything else is apostate.
You know something? The Catholic Church says that Paul was the first Pope. But that's not what the Bible says.
Oh, really? That's not what the Bible says. It came from either Peter or Paul.
The Catholic Church, because I was raised Catholic, I made my first communion and my confirmation. The Catholic Church says that we have to go to a priest, to a human being,
right,
to get solution or forgiveness of sins. You know what? Yeshua, that was his real name. We commonly call him Jesus.
you can spare me that. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, like that's his first and last name, but it's not.
Oh, really?
Long story short, you know what Yeshua said about the matter?
It doesn't fucking matter what Yeshua said about the matter, because it doesn't matter what you...
How should we pray?
Oh, yeah.
How should we pray? And he says, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Now, this is in English, translated from English to English. Thy kingdom will come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thank you this day for our daily bread, in other words, food, and forgive us our trespasses. You could put sins, debts, transgressions. It doesn't matter. But forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Hey, guess what, dude? It looks like our forgiveness is predicated on us being able to forgive, which is ironic in and of itself. Hey, and it goes on to say, to lead me not into temptation. In other words, help me get away from temptation and deliver me from the evil one.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now, what did you say just there? On earth as it is in heaven. That is predicated on Yeshua giving legitimacy to the Catholic Church. Whatever the Catholic Church says is what goes for Christianity. That's how it fucking originated. That's why we have a thing called orthodoxy. That's how it came out, because there needed to be a way to refine what everybody was saying into one coherent theology, I suppose. That's how it came from. That's how the Catholic Church originated.
If you're so knowledgeable, What is the absolute bedrock? What is the precept Christianity is built on? The bedrock that Christianity is built on.
The bedrock of Christianity. What? Okay, I know what it is. What do you think briefly first?
Well, I asked you the question. I
Okay,
know
okay,
what it's built
okay.
on.
All right, it's okay. No. The bedrock that Christianity is built on, why it became so popular, is the fact that you can be forgiven for your sin. You don't have to make personal reparations if you do somebody harm. All you need to do is pray to God, and if God forgives you, which He somehow always does, then that's it. You're forgiven. You don't need to. You don't need to take any. You do not need to have social responsibility, or you do not need to repay people who you've stolen from or done wrong to. All you need to do is pray to God, and you are forgiven for any evil you've ever done. And that is the bedrock of Christianity, Chris. And that's why it's absolute bullshit, because there is no fucking social responsibility.
The foundation of Christianity is Judaism.
Oh, you were going with Judaism. I thought you were actually going with the genuine bedrock. Well, of course it's fucking Judaism. That's where it comes from.
Christianity, guess what? The first alleged Christians were, in fact, Orthodox Jews.
Really? You don't say?
Yeah. Now check this out. Chew on this for a little while. Yeah. I will grant you that the main precept of Christianity is not forgiveness by God, but that is one of the benefits. But the main precept is that if you believe
Chris, can I stop? Can I please just stop you there? How do you think that a lack of social responsibility is a benefit? There is nothing that is a benefit.
Wait a minute. Let's bring this into real time now.
Okay, let's.
If somebody comes to you and says, and it's somebody that you know, and they've transgressed against you, and it's hurt you, and they come to you and they're crying, and they say, "I'm very, very sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I love you. I don't ever want to lose you in my life. I'll repay you however I have to. Please forgive me." Now, you're going to look at that person, you're going to look at their eyes, you're going to look at their countenance and the way they come to you, what they're saying and how they're saying it, and then you're going to make a judgment. Because guess what? They're going to be talking from their heart.
Yeah.
If you think you can just go commit a sin and then go to God and say, "Oh, hey, listen, I did this, and I want forgiveness. Please forgive me," and then figure out whether He's forgiven you or not. No, that's not the way it works, man. It's God knows our heart.
Okay.
If a person is truly,
truly sorry and wants forgiveness and wants to be truly forgiven, they will go over and above than just ask for forgiveness. I have no problem with that whatsoever. If somebody had done some terrible sin to me, and they came to me and they apologized and they offered to repay, I'd have no problem with that whatsoever. But that is not what Christianity says, Chris. If somebody does wrong to me, all that person has to do to be forgiven in the eyes of Christianity is pray to God. He doesn't have to. He's not bound by anything to make reparations.
Oh, you most certainly are.
No, you're not, Chris. You're really not. And you're not going to listen to me, and you're not going to take my word for it. I know that. But go and research into that yourself. Go and talk to a priest or something.
Dude, I know the Bible. You know what Yeshua said? You know what Yeshua said? All the laws of the prophets hang on. Mm-hmm. This is what he said, and this is a quote. He says, "To love your neighbor as yourself, and to love God with all your heart, mind, body, and strength. Of this, all the laws of the prophets hang on." Those two things, because if you do the first, you're going to be, there it says it all. If you do the first, you've got no problems doing the second. If you can't do the first, it's almost going to be impossible for you to do the second.
So in
But if
other
you love your
words,
neighbor, just the person next door doesn't mean the person next door to you. It means if you love man, your fellow man, and by the way, Yeshua loved even the soldiers that came to take him away and crucify him.
So how does that work about loving your neighbor if it also says that you can take your son away and stone him or kill somebody if they've done some bullshit? Sorry?
The Old Testament's good for learning. The New Testament's good for our
excuse me. Jesus came and said the old law will be fulfilled. He is not here to overthrow the old law, i.e. the Old Testament. The Old Testament stands according to the words of Yeshua. And you should know that.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It's good.
Maybe
it's for our learning.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's good for our learning. The New Testament is good for our living. Obviously, no. Let me amend that, because there are certain principles within the Old Testament that are good for our living.
Oh,
like
so you're picking and
diet,
choosing. You're actually
practices. I think this is practice. But as far as stoning goes, that's out the window, Jack.
No, it's not. My name's not Jack. God damn it. The Old Testament stands. Okay. It does. By the words, if you believe that the Bible is the word of God and that everything that Jesus says in there is what Jesus said, then the Old Testament stands.
The word, when I said Jack, it's like using the word dude over here.
Huh?
It was a euphemism. It wasn't a literal name. If I said dude, I wouldn't expect your name to be dude.
Okay, we don't have that custom in Antarctica, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. So we got different sayings like that. I could have said Roy, or I could have said chump, or I could have said a bunch of different things. Jack is part of that particular line of talk.
Okay.
Now look it up.
So you were saying?
If you don't believe me, I said, if you don't believe me, you can look it up. But guess what?
Okay, no, hold on. Before we move on, I want you to personally go and do this. Go and ask somebody about this, or look it up online or something. Jesus says that the Old Testament stands. He is not here to overthrow the old law. That is interpreted as meaning that all the laws of the Old Testament still stand. Virtually all scholars, I don't know if Bart Ehrman or what's that fucking Irishman's name, or nobody really disputes this. Okay.
Okay, well I'm going to look up that verse that you're talking about, and I'm going to put it in context with the verses before and after.
Okay.
I don't take things out of context.
Right.
But you know something? We're not going to agree on this, but this is going to damn sure make a nice post on YouTube.
Well, you think you want me to post this?
No, I'm going to post it.
Oh, really? This isn't even a prank call, Chris. This is a theology debate.
I know. Isn't that special? It's a conversation.
Yeah, but you know what the really funny thing is, Chris? You don't have my permission to post this.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
Because you've never had my permission to post my stuff, and you posted it.
You can't prove that, though. You can't prove I've ever posted anything of you.
Listen, I can't prove that, and I don't have to, because you just proved it by saying, I can't prove that. That's why it's being posted.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, fine. You can post this. I don't mind that.
You just stuck your foot in your mouth.
No, I was trying to be clever, but that's okay. You can go ahead and post this if it'll make you feel good.
Oh, it won't make me feel good, but it damn sure will make you recognizable.
Oh, spooky. You know, I'm already fucking recognizable anyway. I mean, shit.
Because, dude, guess what the title is? Does anybody recognize this voice?
Oh, whatever happened to love thy neighbor, Chris?
Does anybody recognize this voice?
Whatever happened to love thy neighbor, Chris?
From the UK.
Love thy neighbor. Even if it is across the Atlantic, or the Pacific, or the Indian Ocean. Or the Mediterranean.
Somebody's going to recognize your voice.
Yeah. I think you really overestimate your power of subscriptions. You know, you'll get like maybe 1,000 views.
Subscribe, guess what? I've got a whole network out there.
Ooh. What? How many subscribers have you got at the moment?
I'm gonna enlist the assistance from people that hate prank callers on YouTube.
Oh, that's terrible, Chris. Why would you do something like that? Don't you trust the power of
Now,
the Lord?
everybody will know you're married. Everybody that heard you will have heard you said you were
Now
aristocracy.
you keep my wife out of this, sir. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to fly over there and bop you in the nose.
Your wife's already, you've included your wife by harassing me.
I'm not harassing you. We've had a theology conversation.
Oh, just this one, but every other phone call that you've made, you've harassed me, and I've traced it. I've had it traced. But you use Skype and you use Google to obfuscate who you are and where you're calling from.
Right.
See, therein lies your cowardice.
Cowardice? Really? Would I have called you up and said this? I don't get the equation with cowardice at all.
So it's going to be funny. I'm gonna love to see the reaction of. I'm going to love to find out or hear about or learn in some fashion your family's reaction to all that you've done.
You see, Chris, therein lies the absolute fucking insanity, okay, that I've been talking about all this time. Because I've called you and I've been nice, and you've turned around and you've said something like this to me.
No, you've lied. Listen, you just lied a few minutes ago.
I haven't
How do
lied to you,
expect anyone
Chris.
to believe you now?
What did I lie about? What, the Old Testament? Is that the thing here?
No, you've lied. You've admitted lying.
Is that the thing
already?
Here? Is that the thing here? You're pissed off because I just fucking pawned you? Huh? What? What?
You've already admitted to lying on this future post.
What? I don't get it.
Well, you will.
Okay, well, thank you for
Well, I'm glad you didn't have anything better to do.
So, was that what I was about to say anyway? You're pissed off that I just fucking pawned you in the Old Testament, and now you're just gonna be mean? Is that it, really?
I'm not being mean. I'm being prudent.
Yeah, you are. You're being mean.
Call me anonymous.
You're being nasty.
You call me anonymous.
Sorry,
You harass me.
No.
Yes.
No. Well?
So, all's fair in love and trying to find out who's costing me $150,000 over the last 3 years and who's costing me 53,000 phone calls at approximately 50 a day over the last 1,062 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think that was me, do you? You see, you're another one of your flaws. You take the blame out of people who are actually trying to help you. You see, I've been trying.
Well, how have you tried to help me?
I've tried to fucking show you sense. I've tried to make you see how you're being perceived. You just don't get it, do you?
Please, you think anybody that listens to this future post is going to think I've got the problem? I'm not the one that makes the prank phone calls. I'm not the one who harasses old men like Frank Garrett.
You're the fucking person.
I'm not the one that's married.
You are the person who's making these fucking calls,
entertainment.
Chris.
I'm not the one that admits that I'm a sadistic, masochistic individual.
Oh, what is that a bad thing? Really? You're
So
such a prude.
you're gonna learn that you don't have certain rights just because you can use the internet, which is an American invention, by the way, and should never have been given up to ICANN.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Control this whole thing. It didn't belong to the world.
ICANN is directing this whole scenario against you, isn't it? It's a shame. You should drive up there to ICANN and just shoot the director in the fucking face, and that would get you landed in prison. and then maybe you'd get a date, because that's probably the only way you're ever going to get laid, is if you're some kind of fucking nut and you get famous over it.
Dude, that's not my focus. I'm 54 years old.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You
You're
guys
54.
get your head
Hold
out
on.
of your pants.
Have you?
No, that's been your problem.
Have you ever
out.
considered that, Chris? Have you ever stopped and turned
Get
around
in your
and looked
pants.
at dude, Chris?
Keep your head out of your ass.
Have you ever looked at yourself in a mirror and said to yourself that you are 54 years old and you are talking to the fucking thousands of people who keep calling you to tease you and fucking insult you? You're a grown up. You're about as okay. Let me tell you something, dude. You're about as old as my dad. And if my dad ever received Chris,
listen,
Chris,
I know you
Chris,
can't grasp this concept, but if it helps one person to change their life, it was worth it.
Chris.
Secondly, it has helped several people change their lives, and guess where I've gotten a lot of information from? Some of those people.
Chris, you are
about. You don't have a clue because you're living your brain on the dark side, so to speak.
Chris, you're about as old as my dad. Or all right? Okay, you're about. Can I speak now? You're about as old as my dad, okay? And my dad is an actual human being. He's a person, and he would not have reacted even in the slightest way that you have blown these fucking calls out of proportion since day one.
Really? How would your dad have reacted if he was getting 50 to 100
He wouldn't put himself in the fucking situation in the first place. Do you not get that?
Threatening his family, his business, threatening his home, threatening his vehicle.
Okay, Chris,
unless he's just a complete pussy.
Chris, this is a good analogy, okay? If you walk down a dark alley at night, you can expect a good chance that you may get mugged. Okay, so you fuck you, man. You don't put yourself in that situation. You have led yourself into this situation. Do you not get that?
Situation by responding to men threatening me by calling the police.
That is oh my god. Okay, that is the one sensible thing you may have done, but that's fucking shadowed by the idiocy that you've fucking engaged in the last 3 years. Or 4 years.
Hey, listen, I didn't answer these phone calls for 2 weeks. And guess what?
Yeah, go on.
They didn't stop.
Well, so maybe you shouldn't have answered them for a month then.
Action.
You should have just stopped. Why?
Okay, let me ask you something.
I did not. You guys have got this idea that just because you're young, 27, 28, 22, you think everybody owes you something, and you think anything that you do, and if people react negatively and it causes you to do something to them, it was their fault because they should have just ignored you. No, that's not the way life works.
Sometimes in life, Chris, you have to accept that sometimes you cannot fucking fight an invisible enemy, and you should just be a man and know when to quit.
Sorry, dude, I don't lay down for anything or anybody.
And that's the fucking typical fucking American problem. You keep going on and on and on. It doesn't matter how stupid you are or how badly you're fucking losing. You keep doing it because you don't know how to actually have some integrity and say, you know what, man, enough is enough. Have you ever said that to anybody?
Oh, wait a minute. Enough is enough? Yes, I have. You think I'm gonna back down?
When have you?
You think I'm gonna tail between my legs?
I understand. I actually
you guys are right. I'm so scared. I was wrong in railing and your attacks against me. Are you whacked?
I understand that. All right. I understand now. It's gone on for so long. It's like a thing. You know, you've kind of gotten used to and you want to see it through. I'm talking about in the very beginning. Why didn't you just turn around and stop and say to whoever the fuck was calling you in the first place that enough is enough, okay? You could have done that in the beginning and saved yourself all of this. You could have saved your reputation. Maybe, I don't know, you got a pretty shit fucking business model, but maybe you could have saved your business as well, okay? Because you're fucking screwed up, man. And
enough
you
is
need
enough.
to fucking
and then
stop.
What would have happened?
Huh?
What would have happened? Listen, do you know Waga Akachita?
What is that?
Guy named Richard. He was from. Are you familiar with Happy Pranksgiving?
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? He was attacking me big time. Waga Akachita, which is Sioux, it's a Sioux word, S-I-O-U-X, in Native Americans or Indians, as we used to call them.
I'm slightly familiar with that. Go on.
Right. He had a truce. He was arbiter, if you will, and an alleged truce was called. Well, guess what? It was a lie. And you know what I did? I didn't answer the phone. I pick up the phone, I'd hang up. Pick up the phone, hang up. Went on 2 weeks straight. It wasn't going to stop. And I was told by an email it wasn't going to stop. So don't tell me it was my actions that predicated your sick mentalities of attacking me.
It was your reaction, like I said in the first place. If you'd have been consistent with that and just picked up and hung up, you wouldn't have been called back. You may have been called back by some people. No.
2 months, 3 months,
you may have been called back by some people. But as soon as you fucking realised it was a prank call, you should have just hung the fucking phone up. Don't give any reaction. You've said this to people who fucking visited you. For fuck's sake, you know how to deal with it, but you don't. You choose not to follow your own advice. And that has been the problem, that you have encouraged this, whether you think you have done or not. You've encouraged this.
Listen, dude, I'm going to tell you, the best thing that I've ever done is get inside some of your heads. You know why? Because when I didn't, what did you guys start doing? You started making negative posts of me all over the place.
Well, that wasn't me, okay? And
I don't care who it was, you're part of the whole, dude.
Well, then you should have just fucking ignored it, shouldn't you? It's not a big deal what people fucking talking shit about you on the internet. Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares,
Who gives a fuck?
Nobody cares.
I've lost. Who gives a fuck? People looking for reviews on data recovery. That's who gives a fuck.
Well, then you have done this. You said you've done this, that you've contacted these people. You've blocked IPs. I know you blocked IPs from Europe or something to your website last year or something like that. So you can deal with it.
My website's got nothing to do with other places where people post reviews.
Yeah, fine, but you can still deal with it, can't you? You know how to deal with it.
A review posting place called me and said, "Listen, we're calling to find out how many people that have visited your particular review page have you actually converted and monetized?" I says, "None." They says, "Well, that's another reason we're calling you too, is because there are 9 gross reviews with gross." Extremely vulgar language, that we felt were not real reviews, and we filtered them.
Well,
I had 79 visits this year. 79, now probably more by now because that was a couple months ago, but 79 visits. 9 of them were seriously vulgar. That means, let's just use hypothetically the most conservative possibility. Out of those 70, I would have gotten at least 60 customers.
Yeah, okay.
We'll say 60 tops. We'll keep it middle of the road. We'll say 55, absolutely for sure, in this area. 55 jobs. But let's skip the 55 and say I only got 35 of the 70 jobs. That's 50%. At an average data recovery of $1,000, that's $35,000. Not to mention the thousands of dollars people costing me at using my 800 number.
Okay.
Oh, why don't you just change the number, Chris? I might as well just put myself out of business.
Okay.
So you can't blame this on me. You need to see a shrink. You need to go into counseling. You've got anger management issues. You've got delusional issues.
Okay, let me just go into what you just said with your expenses there. Now, I added all this stuff up before because I have been genuinely concerned about, the things that you say. And it kind of worked out that if you claim that you're losing about 5 to 6 customers a month due to bad reviews, and if that's costing you $5,000 to $6,000, then that means that you've before these customers have even ever contacted you about it, that you're setting out to charge them $1,000, and that's just fucking bogus.
No, dude. I said the average cost. You know how people come with averages?
Yeah.
Average.
But that's what you
You
said.
know,
That's what you said
gas
before.
station, a petrol station is charging this month this much in your area, and another petrol station is charging this much. Well, you take those two, you divide them by two, and you come up with an average charge.
How do you think
petrol.
that the average cost for a fucking PC repair is $1,000?
No, it's not a PC repair; it's a data recovery.
A data recovery, whatever. How is that $1,000?
Well, because a data recovery can run anywhere from if it's severe enough, $1,200 to $5,000, and that's
Sorry.
that's if the data isn't needed to be reconstructed. If data reconstruction is necessary, it could get more expensive. But at that point, most places will know the customer's not going to pay exorbitant amounts of money for data reconstruction.
Right. That's why they come to you, because it's cheaper.
What most companies do is tell them that the data is unrecoverable.
So that's why they come to you, because it's cheaper. So my next question to that would be, actually, I don't even really know this, to be honest. I mean, are the majority of your customers, are they commercial or like private citizens? What is it? It'd be citizens, right?
Private citizens on the whole. Most places that when a person that works for a company has got a company laptop, and that laptop drive dies, the company gives that person an opportunity to bring that drive to someplace to get their data back. Most other companies, 99% of the companies out there, charge those customers as if it was a business job. We got two jobs, two separate jobs.
The cost of that
is personal. They get charged a business. They're in the business category.
Right.
I don't
do that. The cost of that is picked up by the person's business, so they're technically not paying it themselves.
Oh, it's picked up by the person's business.
But before we go on, so you're actually telling me that there are a few citizens out there who are willing to come to your shop and pay you the cost of a brand new laptop in order to recover data from their old laptop.
It's not, yeah. Excuse me, more than the cost of a brand new laptop. Because guess what? Laptops aren't important.
It's data. I understand that.
It still doesn't seem good. I mean, to be honest, if I was running your company, I would have set you up with a bunch of commercial contacts by now, and you'd be servicing commercial businesses, because you get a hell of a lot more fucking revenue that way, at the very least. Which you probably...
Well, you can still do that.
Well, why don't you fucking do it? Why don't you focus on improving your business and your public relations aspect, rather than fucking talking shit to people, about this stuff? I mean, how much of your time actually goes into this?
Goes into what? How long have I been talking to you? Been talking to you for
nearly an hour.
45 minutes.
Okay, 45 minutes? Almost an hour. It's ridiculous.
The first time I hung up, what did you do? You called back. Why?
You didn't hang up, did you?
Second time I hung up, you called back. Why?
Probably because I wanted to fucking talk to you about your failing business, like I tried to do the first time, a few days ago.
Yeah, but none of your business. Technically,
I'm a friend. I consider you to be a friend, Chris. I'm trying to help you.
You never know. You never know what the future holds. I'm not the type of person to hate, to want to get revenge.
I just said I consider you a friend and I'm trying to help you, and then you're talking about revenge.
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, well, that's what I said. You should listen once in a while.
No, maybe you shouldn't be on a microphone. Maybe you should be actually talking off of a phone.
Well, maybe if this was 1958, I'd be calling you on a rotary dial telephone, but this is nearly 2012, and we use Skype these days.
Well, that's because there's no charge there.
Well, exactly. That's how you get rich, Chris. Did no one explain this to you when you were a kid? Did your parents or something never sit you down and tell you, "Oh, my son, the way you get rich is that you don't ever spend your fucking money. You don't waste your money."
It's cheap. No, listen.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, why don't you?
There's no way to
Shut
do-
up! Shut up! Shut up! As
Hey,
a matter
there's
of
no way to
fact,
do business. Like you just got done saying something and I didn't hear it. There was data packet loss. I can't afford that in the middle of a business conversation. So,
well,
but
you
aside
could
from
probably
that,
do
I just
that
have
anyway.
a friend that who just walked in the door, and he doesn't need to hear this stuff. So
Okay,
I'm
well,
going to let you fly for now.
okay,
It was very interesting conversation.
it was very enlightening. I hope you look those passages up in the Bible, and I hope you work on your public relations.
So I'm definitely going to do that for next time.
Good. I'll talk to you in a few weeks.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye bye. Yeah.